Hey, I'm so glad to see you today. I want to ask you a question. Can you think of a time when you've been separated for maybe a business trip or a vacation or something else, and you had to leave behind someone you love? I think of when Melanie and I, when we were moving from California to Indiana, there was a little while where I was in Indiana, but she and the kids were still back in California as we were moving the house and other things. I think back to World War II, and you can read letters that soldiers were writing home to their families. Some of them hadn't seen their families in 2 or 3 years. It's so hard to be separated from the people we love. And if we're honest, death is the hardest separation from the people we love. And every single one of us, we have someone we love dearly, and we've been separated by death itself. I'm so thankful that when Jesus died on the cross and rose from the dead, he defeated death. We're reminded in 1 Thessalonians 4 that when we grieve, we do not grieve like people who have no hope. When we grieve the loss of a beloved mom or dad or grandparent or child or sibling, any loved one who had placed their faith in Jesus, we still grieve. This is such an interesting verse. It says that we still grieve, but we don't grieve without hope. We grieve as those who do have hope. So can I just encourage you today? Grieving is biblical. You don't have a lack of faith if you have pain at the loss of a loved one. Jesus himself in John chapter 11 wept when he was standing at a funeral. And by the way, he knew that he was about to raise the guy from the dead in a few minutes, but he still wept. And I love it that Jesus wept at funerals. We are to grieve the loss of our loved ones. And yet we have this hope. And here's how I like to summarize the hope. If your loved one had placed their faith in Jesus, then you know that death is not a farewell, it's a see you soon. A see you soon. You're going to be reunited. And that's where 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 13. For those of you who've lost a loved one who's in Christ, this is the key verse to get you through those difficult days of grieving. That we grieve, but we grieve with hope that there will be a reunion. Just like those iconic photos after World War II, when soldiers came home and there were parades in the downtown streets, and the GIs are kissing their girlfriend, and just all the fanfare is going on, or their wife, and these great reunions. That's what it will be like. So we still grieve death, but we grieve it with the hope that it is a temporary separation rather than an eternal destination, as it is for those who are outside of Christ. And so today, my hope for you is that you would have hope wherever there's grief in your life, and that you'd make a mental note, or in your Life Application Study Bible, put a bookmark here, or even write this verse out. Dear brothers and sisters, we want you to know what will happen to the believers who have died, so you will not grieve like people who have no hope. We have great hope. We'll continue unpacking that tomorrow. I'll see you then.